the truth.
Welcome to Drop Me Off in Nashville with Sabastian Roberts and Scott Huger.
Welcome back to the little show that could, and in fact still does. I'm Sabastian Roberts, along with my dear friend Scotty Huger. What's
Scotty
going on?
Huger, I'm right here. How you doing, Bash?
Good, beautiful.
Good to see your face today.
And you know what? In episode 2, we're talking about From the Garage, too. So if you haven't heard the first episode, I encourage you to go back and learn a little bit about us. Do a little bit of homework. It's kind of fun and interesting, and it's entertaining anyway. But From the Garage, Scotty, we talk about every legend, that starts somewhere. And for most, it's a dirty, it's a garage, right?
It's a garage.
And so, like in this episode...
Mom and Dad buy you an acoustic guitar, and you start to learn how to play it and what an amp is. And
yeah, so we're going to kind of rewind a little bit, right? To where the dream began.
Right.
The grit, the guitars, the garage, the door.
The crying.
Garage door anthems, right?
The hurt fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Failed gigs. And that fire that pushes you to the next level, right?
Yeah.
So you and I were talking before the show about our time.
Hey, hang on a minute. We have a special guest, but I'm not going to tell you. But they're going to be next week. I just got confirmed on my phone. Our special guest is here from Nashville, lives in Oklahoma. But I don't want to tell you about it yet, but I just got confirmed on my phone. I can't wait to tell you who this is next week. Okay, let's go back to the garage.
Well, no, yeah, that's really good, Scott, because I like surprises, and as long as we're getting into surprises, Mark over there in the room there, I've got one for you, buddy. How about this?
Happy birthday, Scott.
What? Come on,
young man, you're not a little dust on the bottle, but we love you a lot.
Come on.
To the greatest friend on the whole planet to put up with an old Nashville singer like me. A royal pain in the ass. We love you, Scott. Cheers to another year.
So you like surprises.
Happy birthday to me, John and Mark. You guys are so kind. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really good.
I just need you to know I stopped counting at 27, though.
Yeah, well, that's good.
It's too much.
You know how good I am at keeping secrets, right?
Yeah.
So hats off to this one.
That was great.
That was really tough. So let's go from the garage. At one point,
that was sweet, you guys. Thank you.
You're very well. We love you, man. So we both went. We didn't figure this out, y'all, for many, many years. But at one point, I wanted to be in radio. And Scotty, it turns out, wanted to be in radio. So we both attended the same radio institute called Brown up in Minnesota at the same time.
Listen to this, John. So I'm on the roller rink mic thinking I'm somebody because the girls look at me because I'm spinning the records and my daddy owns a place. So, I'm somebody now. Look at me. So I'm going to go on the radio because I love music and I love to be around people. I told you that in episode 1, but this is something different. This is like on the radio. And I got this audition tape from Brown Institute. You got one too, right?
Of course.
And you had to read that script?
Right.
Here's me. I don't know how to say that word. Okay, stop, rewind, play, record. And then I try to do a radio voice. Like I'm somebody. like I'm copying Steve Cochran from KDWB in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I completely failed. Completely. And the guy literally sent the stuff back or to whoever and said, "Could you just read it? Don't try to be a radio guy because you're not. Just read it. Just read whichever's on the script and send it to us. Let's see if we can work with you." I couldn't, but they accepted me, so there had to be something there.
Well, they kind of told me the same exact thing.
Oh,
I was trying to over radio it. I was WDGY.
That was me. Best to get you.
Yeah, it was. I was really overdone. But like you said.
But the thing about it, I got 6 months into it, and I started to have to take history classes and stuff. And I just, as a young kid, I wasn't mature enough to understand it, so I quit.
They wanted me in typing class. I'm like, okay, we're done. I'm not here to do office work. No.
I just wanted to be famous and be on the radio. Can't we just do that? But I got to say, though, there's a lot of incredible, talented people that came out of Brown, and hats off to them because they did a great job for the people who deserve to be there. It just wasn't my fit.
No, it wasn't for me either. But little did I know, I thought I was going to be, if in the garage, I thought I was going to be a guitar player. I was positive.
Yeah.
Because I used to Milli Vanilli it and play air guitar in the garage and listen to Foreigner and sing Jukebox Hero at the top of my lungs, and
yeah, but the music had to be higher than your voice that was coming out of the speaker, just so if you did suck, it would drown out. It sounded like you were real good.
Yeah,
you're like in the car, in the shower, how great of a singer you are. Turn that mic on. Like, look at these mics. I mean, they'll pick up a teardrop.
Yes, they do.
It's incredible. So when you get in front of that mic, we're gonna know whether you sing or not. In the garage, though, when you were in your garage, yours was more like a basement. I mean, 3 steps up when you're in the garage. It was almost part of your studio, but you had an amazing setup down there, Bash. You really did.
Well, I put a lot of time and money into it. We insulated and sheetrocked. I had a furnace in there as big as the one in the house, and it was all soundproofed. We had surround sound in there as well, so I could do playbacks out in the garage, so I could smoke because I haven't smoked in the house since 1980. So, never mind, I'm not that old, but. The garage was more of a break area, and the basement was so packed with music gear, there was only really room for the band. So the neighbors would come over and ask us to leave the windows open, and I thought, wow, maybe there's something to this.
Right.
They're not asking me to shut up.
Yeah, like most people do. Stop singing.
Stop.
Yeah, they're going, we want to hear.
Yeah,
it was impressive. Like I told you, that Sunday morning when I showed up right at 10 o'clock and I got the introduction to your garage studio, quote unquote. I knew I was in the presence of something that was going to be pretty cool.
Well,
but you know what? We got to get into Max Bar and Grill, where we met. When you came in there with that black trench coat on,
I had clothes on underneath it.
I wasn't taking no for an answer. I mean, I know we're on this other topic right now, but I wasn't going to take no for it. So I was hoping to kill you with kindness, eat you from the inside out by going, "Why did you say no to me, man? What the heck did I do?"
Did hurt my feelings, right? Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was really terrible.
I wasn't like, "Okay, you arrogant prick." It was just like, "Oh, okay, what was me?"
Nope, and you're right. It was an arrogant prick. I really was a jackass.
Nah, but your studio was cool, and how you had it set up was second to none. And like I said, what I kept thinking of is that this is actually a stage. What these guys are doing is not only practicing your music and honing in on your voice and your style and what you were going to sell to the crowd, you're almost doing a stage show in a basement without having a rehearsal space in Nashville with this big, huge stage and lighting system.
Right.
You had it all set up there, exactly how it was going to go down.
It was.
What you were going to use with each sound, with each different lighting, the smoke machine, when it would come on, when it wouldn't, the lasers. It was an experience, is what you set up down there.
Yeah. And I was really fussy with them too, with the guys that I played with, that I was really kind of hard on them, but to take them out in front of,
I don't think they took it that way. I think they liked it, that you were the front man and you were the boss. I really did. Because I was sitting with them in private. They never been like, John's an ass. I never heard that.
Well, they weren't happy when I went to the next level,
Well, but, that's just kind of what happens. You're not taking the band 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's almost a whole episode
I used to say this, for sure. I used to say this to a lot of people. If, you're a headliner, if Garth Brooks doesn't show up, people aren't going to come. But if his bass player doesn't show up, they'll get somebody else to cover him. It may not be exactly the same, but they're still going to come because Garth's there.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and that's true. I suppose. But I developed like a family feeling for the guys I had in the garage. OG and Thumper.
Oh,
and
you guys are friends.
Some of the guitar players that I've had over the years. I'll tell you, guitar players are a little bit emotional for me. I love them to death, and my gosh, that's when I found out I am not a guitar player, is listening to some of these guys. I write a lot of music with guitar and piano and things, but
beautiful music.
When it comes down to cutting and recording, we'll talk about in another episode. But I found out real quick that that's not who I am.
Right.
That my wheelhouse is with a microphone.
You are the entertainer.
I love that part.
But you could play an instrument, but you didn't need to. You could do it by keeping people's attention.
And I was the only guitar player we had for quite a while.
How do you teach that? That it thing. You can't teach it. You either have it or you can't fake it.
You can't teach that. And I've worked with some really, you've brought a couple singers to me and said, God, you just work with him or her and try to get them to get out there and capture somebody's attention. And I'm like, Scotty, you can't teach that.
Yeah.
You either have that fire to get out there and want to make people, I hate to say, I don't know how to say that.
Say it.
Fuck, fight, and dance.
That's it. You got to be able to do it.
We'll have to beat that.
But yeah.
If you can't make love to it, fight to it, or dance to it, I don't want to do it.
Right.
And I know I love to see people, the reaction. As soon as I see one person loving it, I'm on fire.
Right.
A switch turns on in me.
It's almost like it's like a challenge. I learned this. Everybody's probably seen The Coal Miner's Daughter with Loretta Lynn movie. If not,
I certainly have.
Mooney was so smart in that movie, Loretta's husband. When he got her up to sing the first time, the first thing he did is he walked around the bar and see who stopped talking, stopped drinking and smoking, turn around and watch his wife sing. And the whole bar did it. And I learned from that, and I applied that to everybody I've ever managed. Are people paying attention to you, or they don't care? Because if they do care, they're going to turn around and see who the heck is opening their mouth right now.
Yeah, right. And that, well, we talk about that, instant creative spark, right?
Creative spark.
And you and I had that. There was something there. And I'll tell you all right now, Scotty and I are from two completely, listen, man, completely different worlds, okay? When they say two sides of the tracks, I'm telling you, these are several tracks apart.
Yeah.
Scotty's never had a cigarette in his mouth. I've been to rehab.
Yeah.
So, if that makes
John's
sense.
never done anything in the music business part, but I've never been the artist part, but we both, I don't know how it works so well, but it does.
It does. There's some kind of chemistry there that I don't know how to explain, but you'll know when you find it. And, when we talk about where do we go from here, we're going to dive into that because
music investors, producers. It's not any producer, the right producer.
And don't go halfway.
Don't go halfway. You're either in or you're out.
You don't settle.
Yeah, if you're playing around, go back to the house. Or go find somebody to cut some little CD for you and just go back to Ohio and sell it at the local bar. You'll have a great career.
There you go. And if
it's sad, but it's true.
You're from the garage standpoint, it's going to be. Do you feel it?
Do you feel it?
Is it something that's really buried deep inside you that says, this isn't where I belong. I need to be, elsewhere.
Right. When you're selling that song in the garage, are your songs that you have, do they sound just as good as the guy that you just croakied or covering? It's great to be able to sing Foreigner and copy his lyrics.
Right.
But can you sell your song that same way with that same energy where people go, holy moly, that is good.
Well, and
that's what sells.
And in the episode, how do I know?
How do I know?
We're going to
talk about that.
We're going to dig deep into that.
It's going to be fun. The garage is something else because that's where honestly you're going to learn. It's more than just picking up a guitar and playing. You got to live it. You got to love it. You got to learn it. You got to live it. It's got to be a part of you. Don't ever go into this business because of the money, because the money will come when it's supposed to. And if it doesn't come, there's a reason why, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying about that? It's okay because you found that there's just something that's not working for you, that's not clicking. It's okay. Go back to your hometown. You have a super good career because you've learned so much.
Yeah. Well, geez. I wish I could write a book about it, honestly, but this podcast is going to be the ticket to teach people exactly that. And when we come back after the short break, we're going to talk about the pilgrimage and what it took to go down to Nashville all those times and things. So we'll be right back in just a second. Thanks for hanging with us.
Hey, Siri, bring me a sandwich.
I can't. I am not a human, you moron.
Oh, well then what's the best podcast she can play me?
Now playing Drop Me Off in Nashville.
Aw, thanks, Siri. Give me a hug.
You are an idiot.
3.
Your guitar isn't just an instrument, it's your voice, your soul, your weapon. So don't let it dull out. Bring it to life with Doc Simon's Miracle Guitar Polish, the premium 4-ounce organic formula that restores, protects, and ignites your finish with a stage-ready shine. Safe for every guitar finish and fine wooden instrument. Zero junk, all tone. Whether you're shredding solos or strumming stories, this polish delivers pro-level results every time. Make your guitar look as good as it sounds. Doc Simon's Miracle Guitar Polish. Your secret weapon for shine, tone, and total respect. Get yours now at SlamoCustomGuitars.com. That's SLAMO CustomGuitars.com.
John, I almost have to tell you who's going to be showing up next week.
No, you
I'm
can't.
It's better if I don't tell you. You know why? Because it'll just be better. I'm just shh.
Okay. Do I know the guy?
Yes, he's a super cool guy. He's like one of my dearest friends. He's like you and I. He's smart and he gets it, and he's no nonsense, which I love as a person in music business. I can't wait.
I'm gonna get it out of you.
We'll see. Hey, Nashville.
Nashville, yeah.
Let's talk about the journey from the garage down to Nashville. Do you remember like the first time you ever went to Nashville?
Oh boy, do I ever!
Were you younger or were you older? Was it after the garage? When did
it was you?
It was because of me.
Yeah. When I went down to work with Tommy Two-Tone and yourself, and we cut the record. It Is What It Is at Omni in Nashville. Yeah.
Can you believe the character of that city the first time you pulled up? I mean, there wasn't any of all these artist bars. It was the stage, Tootsie's, Legends Corner, Rippy's,
The Wheel.
Those bars with all this character where people just gravitated to it. And you couldn't wait to get in there and be a part of it because there was this kid up on stage named Scott Collier, John Stone, holding people in the palm of their hand from all around the world. I mean, just holding people in the palm of their hands. And I couldn't wait to get in there, be a part of that, just to watch these guys perform.
They were a lot of fun. And I had just bought the Kia. I had I had a Kia Sportage, and I love that thing. People pick on that little Kia, and everybody has a Jeep. So I love my little Kia, and I put, honest to God, I used that car exclusively for driving to Nashville. And I put 186,000 miles on that truck.
Yeah.
Just going back and forth to Nashville.
I'll never forget that time I called you. We had this song, you guys, for Dale Earnhardt Jr. called 88.
It's killer. I love it.
And it was just powerful. And we had 4 different singers in the studio trying to cut this thing. We just couldn't get it right. And I called Sebastian. I said, will you please come down? He's like, Scotty, it's an ice storm.
It was too.
How much? Don't worry about it. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm like, no. We can reschedule. He goes, do not reschedule. I'll be there tomorrow. And drove in an ice storm just to get down to the recording studio to sing it.
It took an entire day to drive 12 hours. It was this ice storm, went from the entire state of Minnesota all the way through Wisconsin, all the way down through Illinois.
Right where you got to go.
And the ice was in Kentucky.
Right where you got to go.
Everywhere I had to go.
Right.
And so it was a really slow drive. The power was out. Trees were down. I was wondering.
You ended up in Memphis when you were supposed to turn in Paducah or somewhere.
Well, you couldn't see.
Yeah. And the thing about it is you're like, I'm coming. Do not cancel this session.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the studio and telling my partner, I was just like going, this is a guy who gives a crap about the music.
And I was so excited.
It's so fun. I can't wait to get him here because I was scared you were going to be exhausted is what really frightened me the most.
Well, I was exhausted.
I mean, how is he going to sing? I mean, you're tense, you're holding the steering wheel, but the only thing you cared about is getting to the recording studio in Nashville, Tennessee.
I think that's where I developed carpal tunnel. Was driving down there. It was
because you were holding on.
That was a white knuckle drive, man. And that's not the first. It's not the only one I made down there. When these things happen,
you go.
You have to go, and
it shows you care.
I stayed with the garage. I stayed with my guys there. They understood. Hey, I got to go. I'm going to go cut a track. So
remember that phone call when you called me and you said, "What about my guys?" I said, "What guys?"
Yeah,
we're going to get you new guys.
See that happens, y'all. So. Many people have kids and jobs and lives and, mortgages and things. And it's not that easy just to say, hey, I can jump in a car anytime you want and drive down to Nashville. I was in a very fortunate position at that time where my wife at the time took care of the kids and she was an at-home mom. So for me to take off was in the wheelhouse. And,
right. But still, you had to have that conversation. Baby, I'm leaving tonight. I mean, I'm in the studio tomorrow. I have to go.
And it was very tough without an investor.
It
was tough.
It's tough without an investor. You got to have somebody help you.
Well, and we stayed, I stayed with you a couple times down there. And
I stayed in that KOA. Remember, it looked like a small, 12 by 12 cabin, maybe
like a tiny house.
No heat, no air conditioning, no running water.
No,
but it's $40 a night and a fire pit outside. Yeah. You know what I cared about? I was in Nashville.
Yeah,
that's all I cared about.
Yep.
This KOA was like my heaven.
Yep.
And if I couldn't afford the $40 to stay there, I slept in my truck just so I could be.
I remember that.
But it was the music.
I remember talking to you from the truck. Yeah.
I went and bought that with a little antenna, those little tiny TVs or black and white where you turn a little knob on the side and try to get the right station to come in and had an antenna sticking out.
Oh,
and
God,
I put that in my
that.
truck. I built a bed in my truck so I could sleep in it. But it was in Music City Valley, right by Music City Bar and Grill and the Nashville Palace, because I felt that's where I would be the safest. And I would sleep there at night in the back seat of my truck.
What's the name of that exit there off of Briley 155? Music Valley Drive.
Music Valley Drive.
That's
my heaven.
That and
that is heaven.
On that frontage road right there, y'all, is where the KOA Two Rivers Campground, Yogi Bear. It's all right there, and the music is right up the street.
Best country music you're going to listen to comes out of the Troubadour.
Sure.
A buddy of mine owns that. Music City Bar and Grill. Another friend of mine owns that. You're going to see George Jones, the steel guitar player, standing up there playing. You're going to see Zach Top pop in on a Tuesday afternoon and play a whole set of Merle Haggard songs for people. Not announced. Just shows up and plays.
Right. Well, that's how I met Jamie. Jamie Johnson.
Jamie Johnson did that very. That's right.
I didn't even know who that was. That was really funny. I'm down at the stage.
The stage.
Yeah, and it was my day off, and when they opened, I was there, and so listen,
10 o'clock.
I was having.
Where's
breakfast.
Bash? Oh, he's at the bar.
He's at the bar. I was having a very healthy protein-packed breakfast with Seagram 7 and 7-Up. And this old cat walked in with a beard. And he kind of cozied up a little bit. But
you had this aura, though, Bash. That was the thing about it. You kind of said that you were in the music business without saying it.
Yeah,
I mean, to his defense, he probably was like, this guy, my guy's probably a player, a singer, or something. I'm going to go visit with this guy.
I thought he was
because I don't
biker.
want to get peed on by everybody else around here.
Yeah, right?
Right.
I thought he was a biker, so we like Mutt and Jeff, we'd get along right away. And he says, "Hey, man, will you watch my drink for a minute?" And I said, "Well, of course, yeah, man." And I figured he was either going to go out and smoke or he's going to go to the restroom. And he started walking to the stage, and I said, "Hey, brother, man," I said, "the bathroom's over here." He goes, "I ain't looking for the bathroom, man." And there was a guy on stage staring at his phone singing.
Of course,
that's the most unprofessional thing you can ever do.
I literally walk out. The only time I'll stay is if somebody goes, Hey, here's $20. Here's $100. Will you play this song for me in Nashville? Because you got to pay him to play these songs that they're special requests. And if the singer doesn't know it, these artists are so good down there that they'll go, I'm not really sure. And if they pick their phone up just to make you happy or make your trip just a little bit more enjoyable, I get that. But when you're standing there reading out of your phone, song after song after song.
No, yeah, and that's what happens.
You don't want to be a singer.
No.
You want to do karaoke because that's what's easy for you.
Well, you're not giving any attention to the people that are
You're
there.
giving your attention to your phone.
You're not paying the rent that way, I'll tell you.
Remember when we first would go to Nashville years ago, none of that was even allowed. I mean, if you brought a phone up on stage, they'd kick you out. You're done. We got somebody else to replace you.
Yep.
Anyway,
in 5 minutes.
I didn't mean to interrupt your story, but that phone thing drives me insane.
I forgot what we were talking about.
We're talking about Jamie Johnson walk up to the stage and the kid's looking at his phone.
So he's walking up to the stage and he took the guitar from the guy's hand and the guy starts singing a song I never heard before called High Cost of Living. And let me tell you guys something. If you haven't heard this, Jamie Johnson, High Cost of Living, my dear God. And I'd never heard this before. So when he came off the stage, I'm salivating, man. I'm drooling. My tongue's on the ground.
You're pretty good.
I said, hey, yeah, boy, you're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a singer too.
I said, I got a manager in town. And he goes, he says, and cover the kids' ears, I ain't fucking playing with no damn anybody. RC, whoever he was,
I don't
who was he
remember.
signed with? I can't
It doesn't
remember.
matter.
It doesn't really matter. One of the labels, he goes, no, never again. He said, if I'm not writing for Waylon, and he wrote for Waylon, and
I didn't know that.
yeah, he wrote for Waylon Jennings.
I didn't know that.
And he's really upset now that there's no 3-4 time country anymore. And it's all this bubblegum country music. And
You know what I just read? I could be wrong, so don't quote me. I think this is his last tour coming up.
Jamie?
Yeah. I'm not sure of that, so don't quote me, but I thought I wrote the last, I think it was called the last Honky Tonk Tour. So I may be reading into it, but I'm pretty sure Jamie's going out one more time.
well, of course, they all go one more time.
Yeah.
He was never going to do it again. And then I saw him at the downtown shutdown and I went, Jamie, what you told me. Yeah. I mean, You got to know this guy. He's absolutely hilarious.
But what a talent. Like you said, when somebody can command. I watched this episode on CMT where they were doing tribute to Alabama, the group Alabama.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And Jamie came up. I think I sent a text to you for you to watch it on YouTube or something. But Jamie came up there. It was just him and his guitar, and he sang. And quarter way through the song, I have tears running down my face. And I've heard this song a million times over.
Yeah.
But I've never heard somebody do it like that.
That's the passion we're talking about.
That's the passion. That's that get in the car, drive 12 hours in an ice storm. I'm cutting tomorrow. This guy gets up on stage, grabs his guitar, and sings it better than Randy Owen did.
You know, right?
Crazy.
I mean, but that's how, and I don't know. I don't believe that. So before I go on a stage, I'm terrified for 2 days before that happens. I'm nervous. I'm crabby. I'm irritable. I don't know why that is. And until I'm right up until I'm on the stage and I see a first reaction, then there's some kind of switch that happens. And now I'm on fire. I mean, I've done shows and recordings before where I don't even remember doing it. I was completely, and sober, by the way. I was blacked out. Recording with Lori Morgan.
Yeah.
When
Amazing.
we did Dress for the Rain.
Her husband died. Rest in peace, Randy.
And yeah. Sorry about that, Lori. Gosh, poor
That's
Randy.
terrible.
Yes, it is.
I mean, to bring it down her, but
No, not at all.
I brought up her name, just gave me chills because
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
Randy's funeral's coming up, and that's really sad.
And Randy
Good
was
guy.
a great guy, too.
Just a
I
great
knew
human
Randy.
being.
Randy
Yeah,
was
great
awesome.
human being. Rest
And he
in
really
peace,
took
sir.
care of Lori well.
Yeah.
But those are times in the studio and live performances that, the next day people told me about them. I woke up at the Radisson in Nashville, and Liquid Louie, we call him. Liquid, he said, man. I said, oh, God, we're late for the studio. He goes, you don't remember? I said, remember
No,
what?
you don't remember.
He said, you're done. I said, done
Yeah.
what? And he said, well, you recorded with Lori and you cut He Lied
Yeah.
yesterday. I said, yesterday?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I left. I saw you. When you were in that booth, I looked at your eyes and I went, there's no time for me to be here. This is time for artists to be artists. And I left.
I don't remember doing it, but
Yeah. But those are those moments in the studios or on stage when you go, this is it. This is my thing. This is when you know you have it and when you don't have it. Like you said, if you're just doing it because somebody tells you should do it, paying you to do it, it's no longer you're not being an artist anymore. Now you're just doing it because,
right?
What fun is that? Go find a painting job or something that you more enjoy if that's where you want to be, and that's okay.
When people are dancing or crying,
Yeah.
or showing emotion when I'm out there, then. And I'm never going to call it working because that's not work.
It's not work.
No. Anybody who calls music business
Scott
work.
Collier in Nashville. We talked about him earlier. So one of the greatest guys on Broadway. Him and this guy named John Stone. They play at Kid Rocks, and you'll see. Just find him. Scott Collier, John Stone, two great, incredible artists. Scotty told me one day, I'll never forget. He goes, "You know what I do?" He goes, "When there's people in the bar or wherever I'm at, if somebody's not paying attention to me, I figure out how I'm going to get them to pay attention to me. They're my challenge." Because he's been doing it for so long. So if anybody's not watching him, even though he's incredible, they're eating, they're visiting, they got a new date, they're trying to impress somebody, whatever the case, they're too drunk. He'll do something, he'll say something, he'll do just to get them to turn around and look at him. And then he'll go on to the next one. I think it's such a talent. I love stuff like that. That's when you're up there just going, this is about we're all having a good time today. And John, that's what you would capture on stage. Every time you went on there, you'd make people feel like they're special, like they're supposed to be there, like you're going to give them a memory before they go home that night. They want more.
Well, it's not for me. You're right. So I think if I was up there for me, and if you're up there for you, you're probably there for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
And it's passion over comfort.
Yeah.
So I purposely put myself in positions that I think would make anybody want to vomit in their mouth to. Number one, experience it because, when I cut with Lori Morgan, I found this song and I called all the producer. At
We call him Ollie. Let's call him Ollie.
We call him Ollie.
There's too many marks in our life. Let's
We
call
do
him
have a lot of
Ollie.
marks, yeah. So Ollie's
great.
I called up Ollie really early in the morning. I forgot that Nashville, had a different time zone, and I called Mark, and I think I woke him up, and he says, "What are you doing, Bash?" I said, "I got an idea for a song," and he goes, "Really?" I said, "Did I wake you, man?" He goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I found this song," and he goes, "Okay, what is it?" And I said, "Well, it's Cyril Ross, and it's called Dress for the Rain. He goes, yep, I know the track. And I said, well, that's not the kicker, Mark. I said, I have an artist that I'd like to do it. I hear it as a duet. It was sent to me as an acoustic solo. It was just an acoustic
beautiful
demo.
Done that way, by the way.
And what's that?
It was beautifully done in the acoustic way, but you took it to a different level with Lori.
I just heard a duet out of that, and my dad's greatest girl in the world was Lori Morgan, so he made my ears bleed to that stuff. Something in Red, and oh my gosh, I really love her voice. And so I said, well, Mark, I have an artist in mind. He said, is that right? And at the time, he was Lori Morgan's music director as well as
on tour,
producing for me. Yeah, he was her tour manager musically, and I said, well, I'd really like to have Lori. I'd really like to have Lori come in and sing the duet with me. And he says, well, you're really kind of shooting for the stars, aren't you? Right. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you.
Some parts of Nashville are, should we say, a bit seedy?
Oh, howdy, mister. You got an itch that needs scratching? I was just fetching a fresh pitcher of iced tea.
I bet Scott and Sebastian know where they are. Stay tuned and find out.
Are you a TV producer or camera crew ready to capture the heart and hustle of Music City? Then we got your next hit TV reality show.
Introducing Drop Me Off in Nashville, the reality series where country dreamers chase stardom, heartbreak meets dead ends, and every neon sign has its own story.
We're calling all Nashville filmmakers, videographers, and crews to help bring this story to life. From Ryman Alley to Broadway nights, this is where the fans meet the future stars.
Think Southern Charms meets ABC's Nashville. But real, raw, emotional. A self-contained docu-series.
Want to get behind the camera and shoot the next breakout series? Reach out now at dropmeoffinnashville.com and let's make TV magic, y'all.
Drop Me Off in Nashville, where the dreamers and the fans connect in reality.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up in this next segment, maybe 5-6 minutes, and we'll wrap. Thank you.
Okay, so we're back. Obviously, we when we go to break, we end up talking, and then we forget where we were at.
Yeah, sorry about that. So if we were in a sentence about something else, y'all just bear with us a second.
We're talking about Lori and Mark Oliverius had said, "Oh God, you're really shooting for the stars, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, you know what? If I don't ask," Gene Simmons always said, "If you never ask, the answer is always going to be no."
You know what else I heard? I referenced literal. There's like heroes in my life that I studied.
Loretti?
Loretta, Charlie Pride, not you. God,
no, Loretti.
I thought you said you. I'm like, oh,
I'm
just kidding.
Wow,
I'm just kidding.
I got feelings, you know.
Just kidding. Loretta Lynn, Charlie Pride, Garth Brooks. All those three. They all had their own path and they did it their own way. And so they're like kind of like my heroes, so I like to reference them.
Yeah.
I remember you said something about you're shooting for the stars, but then Gene said to you, if you don't ask, how are you going to know?
That's right.
Loretta said the same thing. She goes, if you're asking somebody and they're telling you no, you asked the wrong person. And I thought, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong person. They're not allowed. That person who said no can't make the decision. You asked the wrong person.
That's right.
What great advice. It's so simple, but think about it.
And
if you don't ask, how do you know?
It was life-changing.
It was life-changing.
Scotty, it was a changing in my life right there.
It was amazing.
I had told my now ex what I did, and she said, "Oh, dear God." And I said, "Well, yeah, I did ask, and I'm pacing the floor all flipping day, Scott. I was wearing a hole in the marble floor, and literally, I think I put probably 20 miles.
Well, you're talking about a country music legend.
I mean,
she's incredible.
Well, I never thought she'd ever do it,
but when she said yes,
I'm nobody, so why would she, right?
Right.
And Mark calls me back, and
Ollie
goes, Ollie, yep, sorry, and Ollie says, "Well, John," I said, "No, I didn't figure she would, brother. It's okay." He said, "Well, she's going to sing it with you. When can you come down?" And there is another moment, y'all, where I was in that truck Matter of fact, when I was talking to Mark, my wife at the time was already packing my suitcase. She knew I was getting in the truck.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. I got in the truck, went down, and that's when Scotty and I had the conversation in the parking lot, and I ended up cutting He Lied and Dress for the Rain as well. And they ended up being two of the best tracks on the record. It was just incredible.
See, so again, like we were talking earlier, these are just stories that we lived. Each one of you artists out there, when you go to Nashville, you're going to have your path. You're going to make your journey. You could do it by getting signed at some local Holiday Inn songwriters night. You could have some guy that you pay him $5,000 and he's going to walk you into every producer or record executive in Nashville and get you a deal that way. There's many ways that things can happen, but the things that you got to do is you got to do it. You got to get off your hind end, believe in yourself, because nobody else is gonna. I can promise you that. And it's business. So even when you go down and you think you're the best thing in Ohio, I'll bring you down on Broadway and I'll show you 100 people who are better than you. Right. It's just, how hard are you going to work?
And nobody's going to come to your door and knock on the door and say, oh my gosh, you're so good at karaoke, you need to come down. It's never going to happen.
It doesn't happen. I'm not even a great singer. I could do this Friends in Low Places thing pretty good. And I'm kind of happy. That's like my moment, I guess.
Love watching you do that.
But it's never going to get me a record deal, number one. Number two, I'm unqualified. I wouldn't want one anyway because I'd fail. And furthermore, there's a lot more talented people down there that deserve it, that are just so incredibly sickening talent. It's just so fun to watch them build their careers. You got to do it, you guys.
It's so fun.
Get off your couch, go to Nashville, try. Don't let us discourage you. But like we said in this episode, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask again, and don't be afraid to ask again if you have to, but just keep asking till you get what you need.
And great things start in small places.
They do.
So when Scotty brings up writers' nights, find them, go to them, hit them up. There's Beer for Breakfast Wednesday in Nashville.
I don't know if they're doing that anymore. I wonder if they're not. I'm going to look that up.
Wasn't that the Rooster?
I think it was at Tootsie's. It was Beer for Breakfast.
No, that was at the Rooster up the road.
I don't remember. Let's check it out. We'll find out, though.
We'll find out for you where the current writers' nights are, and I highly suggest you go.
Even if you just go and listen,
it's not what you know; it's who you know.
It's who you know. Marketing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey, John, did I tell you that we have somebody cool coming in next week?
Yeah, you're just trying to tease me now. I know you are.
I'm telling you, this is going to be awesome. This guy has been around the block. He gets it,
and I know him. So you're freaking me out,
and he doesn't play mess around. He gets it.
And you're freaking me out because now I'm trying to figure out who it is, and we only know about 10,000 people between the two of us.
Next week when you come in, dress a little nicer. Well, all this fancy stuff you got on, you make me feel out of place.
Am I offensive? I just got out of work. They actually made me work today. Anyway, listen, we're gonna catch you on the next episode.
I love
y'all.
everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna have a special guest for you. So whoever that is, we'll find out together.
Cool. I'm excited.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks for joining Sebastian and Scott. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join the Drop Me Off in Nashville family. Engineering and production provided by Podcast Production Music.
Well, Nashville, can't thank you enough for all the time.
Y'all come back now. Here?